Prime Minister says he will talk to China's leaders about the detention of mining executive Stern Hu when the time is right. More than a week of diplomacy in Canberra and Beijing has netted nothing but silence from the Chinese government. The opposition says the time has now come for top-level intervention, but Kevin Rudd maintains appropriate contact is being made and Mr Hu's interests are best served by quiet diplomacy. Political editor Chris Yorman.
Another day, another minister says there'll be no quick fix to the detention of Stern Hu.
We will deal with this in a methodical and appropriate way.
The government admits all its efforts to extract more detail about his arrest are being rebuffed.
No, and that's why we pressed them both in Canberra and in Beijing.
It's just not acceptable. Now, the Australian Prime Minister should pick up the phone. He should stand up for Australia and for an Australian citizen in distress.
China is answering some questions, denying reports that the President was involved in the case.
The Rio staff have been arrested based on facts and in accordance with the law. That newspaper report is not in line with the facts.
Chinese state media is reporting that 5 major domestic steel firms and a number of executives are now under investigation in connection with charges that Stern Hu and 3 other Rio Tinto executives stole state secrets. The Prime Minister says he will act in the national interest.
That means the well-being of any Australian citizen. They come first. We will handle each of the other elements of our relationship in their own terms.
Even if Stern Hu has a case to answer, Beijing's stony silence on the detail is interpreted by many China watchers as a message of displeasure aimed at Canberra. Some believe it's angry at talk of a military build-up, continued high iron ore prices and the rebuff of Chinalco's bid to take a larger stake in Rio. The Treasurer was certainly at pains today to restate the government's view that it welcomes foreign investment within limits.
Where the proposed ownership by a resources consumer increases to the point of potential control over pricing and production, we look more carefully at whether the proposal is contrary to Australia's national interest.
The financial crisis will drag forward the power shift from west to east, and this incident proves, if it needed proving, that the Chinese century will bring both great opportunities and enormous challenges. Chris Ullman, ABC News, Canberra.